You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 137.2, our scoreboard for Friday's girls basketball games in Blackford, Delaware, Grant, Howard, Madison, Tipton, and Northern Hamilton counties, with Saturday's game predictions.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, we love that you're here with us. Today is January 4th, 2025. It's a Saturday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana basketball. Coming to you today from headquarters in Jeffersonville, but headed back to the area soon to attend the Grant 4 Championship later this evening. Producer Susie is right next to me. It's been amazing getting to spend a couple of weeks with her. But now it's time to get back to business as usual, and all these delays that I've had lately, that will come to an end. Welcome to our girls basketball scoreboard. Coming up, I'll be making my predictions for Saturday's games, and Michelle will let me know just how wrong I am. She texted her picks today. She didn't have time to do a podcast segment. That will not be uncommon, so you should expect that in the future. Sometimes it'll be live, sometimes it'll be over the phone, sometimes it'll be by text, but we'll get it done every day. We start as we always do with Friday's local scores. Then we will have our highlights from each local game, everything that we could find out about every game. Then we will make our predictions for Saturday's games. Before we get to Friday's scores, please go right now and like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever you're listening to us now. Go do it right now. No excuse. Maybe driving, but pull over to the side of the road and like, subscribe, or follow us so you don't miss a single segment of the Central Indiana Sports Report. Kokomo had a big second half in a 57-35 win over Frankton. Daleville blew past Tri-Central 46-22. Northwestern won its third straight game, 47-33 over Manchester in a Three Rivers Conference game. Taylor finished seventh in the Delphi tournament with a 48-36 win over Frankfurt. Pioneer beat the host Oracles 58-49 to win the championship. Blackford was beaten 52-17 by Clinton Central and 46-37 by Centerville to finish seventh in the Union County Invitational. And soon to be number one Hamilton Southeastern beat Carmel 47-42. And Ben Davis beat Jeffersonville 57-36 to win the Ben Davis Holiday Classic. And now to Friday's highlights. Kokomo beat Frankton 57-35. Kokomo led 20-17 at the half, and then the Wildcats outscored Frankton 40-15 in the second half. Kokomo is now 11-5 on the season. Sophomore Satira Scott had a career-high 16 points. She was 2 for 4 from behind the three-point line and had 5 rebounds. Junior Eliana Stewart had 13 points, 7 steals, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists, stuffing the stat sheet as she always does. Senior Avi Pollard finished with 8 points and 4 rebounds. Freshman Jordan Brown and senior Michaela Drake scored 7 points apiece, and junior Amara Stroman had 6. Kokomo hosts 6 and 8 Northwestern on Wednesday. Frankton is now 5-9 after their third straight loss. Senior Emma Key led the Eagles with 11 points. Senior Sophia Hoagland had 7, and sophomore Addie Moore had 6. The Eagles host 9-4 Anderson Prep in the opening round of the Madison County tournament, and will face either 9-3 Elwood or 1-2 Liberty Christian in the second round on Thursday. Daleville beat Tri-Central 46-22. Daleville is now 8-5. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. They have a big test on Tuesday They go to 11-3 Southern Wells. Tri-Central is now 6-9 after their fourth straight loss. They are at 6-9 Peru on Wednesday. Northwestern beat Manchester 47-33. It's the third straight win for the Tigers following the Logansport Holiday Tournament Championship. They are now 6-8. They held Manchester to 21% shooting, forced 19 turnovers. Anna Bisher led the Tigers with 23 points, a career high 23 points for Anna Bisher. The Tigers go to 11-5 Kokomo on Wednesday. Manchester is now 5-10. They were led by sophomore Ali Egolf, who had 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. At the Delphi tournament, North Montgomery beat Taylor 62-33, and then Taylor bounced back for a 48-36 win over Frankfurt in the 7th place game. Taylor's now 3-13 and after snapping their 8-game losing streak. The Titans are at 0-13 Eastern on Wednesday. Frankfurt is now 0-14. At the Union City Invitational, Clinton Central beat Blackford 52-17 behind 23 points from junior Carly Davidson. Clinton Central is 11-4 after winning the championship later Friday with a 40-22 win over Union City. Blackford then lost to Centerville 46-37. Blackford is now 1-15. They have lost 14 games in a row. They have an excellent chance to end that losing streak on Saturday when they face 3-10 Blue River. Centerville is now 4-9. That was their second win in their last 4 games. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana girls basketball. Before we get to the Central Indiana Sports Report Girls Basketball Player of the Day, I want to ask you a favor to please tell a friend about the Central Indiana Sports Report. I know if you listen to this podcast that you have thought of somebody who would enjoy the Central Indiana Sports Report. We'd really appreciate it if you'd let them know. And the Central Indiana Sports Report Girls Basketball Player of the Day is Northwestern senior Anna Bisher, who led the Tigers to a 47-33 win over Manchester with a game-high 23 points. The 23 points is also a career best for the 4-year varsity player. And here is Susie to announce Saturday's game picks.
Welcome to Greg versus Michelle. It doesn't really have a name yet, but they've made their game predictions. Whoever's closest gets a point. If they pick 2 different teams, whoever's correct get 5 points. The current score is Michelle 20, Greg 29. The score was 2-2 Friday. Games Michelle got correct are as follows. Greg said Kokomo by 21 over Frankton. Michelle took the over. It was 22. Greg picked Clinton Central by 21 over Blackford. Michelle said it would be more. It was 35. The games Michelle got incorrect are as follows. Greg picked Daleville by 9 over Tri-Central. Michelle took the under. It was 24. Greg picked North Montgomery by 28 over Taylor. Michelle again took the under. It was 29. However, both of them were way wrong about Northwestern's win over Manchester. Greg picked Manchester by 7. Michelle took the over. Northwestern won by 14. Both of them would be too embarrassed to take that point. And now we go to the picks for Saturday. In the first game, 4-8 Mississinewa versus 3-10 Madison Grant play in the first round of Grant 4 at 10 a.m. Greg expects the Argyles to close the margin of their loss to the Indians last week by 34. He picks Mississinewa by 22. Michelle will take the over. 12-1 Oak Hill versus 4-8 Eastbrook plays at 11:45 at Madison Grant. Greg has Oak Hill winning by 22. Michelle thinks it'll be more. However, both think that Oak Hill will win the championship in the long run. 7-6 Jay County at 8-5 Yorktown. Greg expects Yorktown by 16. Michelle says the under. 3-11 Western at 3-10 West Lafayette. Greg has West Lafayette by 6. Michelle takes the over. And finally, 1-15 Blackford versus 3-10 Blue River Valley at the Union City Invitational.
This is the big one.
This is the big one, folks. Greg has Blackford by 1, Michelle, Blue River.
Thank you, Susie, for doing that, and to Michelle for texting me her picks. Again, we're going to do the picks however we can do them. If it takes doing it by text, that's how we're going to do it. Thank you, Susie, so much for voicing that. That was fun. And thank you for listening. You are the best ever, and you have great taste in podcasts. All right, this has got to be a special one because I'm leaving to go north now. And we've been together for a couple weeks, so we got to make this one really count.
We're going to say it together. Okay.
The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.